Hello guys, and glad to have you on board again today. Quick update of our weekly scenarios. Just as a quick reminder, if you're looking at those things and wondering where the weekly updates are, they are released right into TradingView. And of course, TradingView is for weekly updates, and we do regular daily shifted updates depending on how prices move, either toward or against the weekly plans. But we're kind of doing some dotted updates throughout the week following these weekly plans. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about indices and stock market because we had quite a news that might be really pleasing the markets. Janet Yellen is going to be Secretary of Treasury of the Biden administration, and that's definitely an experienced person for the job. That's definitely totally 180 degree against the Trump's policies of taking noobs and unexperienced people to try changing the game. Of course, Biden just shows exactly what we were expecting from him, going on the totally opposite direction, picking people that have a lot of experience, so-called deep state for some other people, of course. So we'll see all about that later in the future, but market-orientated information, definitely. The market liked Janet Yellen, and therefore seeing her as the Secretary of Treasury is definitely pleasing the market today. So we're going to talk about that, how good that news could be, and stuff like that. We're going to have to review this slightly later on. But first of all, cryptocurrencies, and we have to talk about these. So BTC dominance, I think, has reached out to a very deep in area. We can see early reactions. We've reached out to the higher time frames context and dipped below. And as you can see, we're already seeing some reactions on prices. 61% on dominance, which is lower than what I expected. I started looking at signals down to 62, and I've actually 62.50. So we're really gone below. That's great, okay, but I think now we've gone to some very dangerous territories for dominance, areas in which likelihood of pullbacks and rebounces are really seriously increasing. But still, that doesn't mean everything will have to fall off a cliff. That also means eventually Bitcoin will have to break some resistance and catch up on the leading altcoins right now, okay? So that is one of many possibilities to shift up the BTC dominance. But still, the fact is that Ethereum shown some volatility earlier today. That's not the end of the world, but remember that I'm definitely tracking how prices behave on the nearby area of $600 because that's a weekly resistance. I see no early signals at the moment, but you know how volatile these things can be. Ripple, we've gone to some pretty fucking high prices, not even to mention that we are nearly at my first taking profit area, which is 0.80 and stuff like that. So as we reached out an appropriate timing for BTC dominance and looking at the fucking rally we've had out there, I think I'm going to start locking some gains on Ripple. Probably no more than 25%, of course. But I think that my first taking profit area was 0.85. We've dipped right up to 0.80. I think I can consider this area reached out to. Of course, I wish I could have profit taken 0.80, and we're very likely eventually going to go right up to 0.85. But, I mean, today we're reaching out an appropriate timing. I think I'm going to lock the prices just as they are. So probably triggering 25% profit taking this morning on Ripple and Stellar Lumens as well. Same context out there. We've clearly broken the resistance, and we are nearing the precise replicate of the first amplitude. Normally, we're supposed to take the same time as well. So I don't think these things are going to fall off the fucking cliff. But just in case it happens, I don't really want to be a late gamer out there. Okay, Cardano's just breaking its resistance. That's what we were wondering yesterday. That's real great. So like I said, I want this one to show some strength. So I hope this one isn't going to flush on a double top structure. So I'm not profit taking on this one, of course, but I'm really monitoring it. Okay, so don't get me wrong. I don't think the altcoins will reverse. I'm just locking on some gains, cashing out some of those nice gains. I'm holding on Ethereum because I'm building a node for Ethereum 2.0 validators, and therefore I'm holding my coins, and I don't intend to sell them. I'll eventually go for some cover trades if that really shows some weaknesses, but I'm more interested into the 900 area for Ethereum to do such a thing. So partial profit taking on Ripple and Stellar Lumens, but that's pretty much all about it. Regarding Bitcoin, I will eventually consider either taking down my cover trade. Remember that I covered 25% of the portfolio into this area. So either I take down this trade if we flush out to the upside, which means the BTC dominance is pulling up because of Bitcoin catching up on its late trade, Or option number 2, we have a huge drop everywhere, meaning Bitcoin retraces down to its previous supports, kind of a flushing pattern. And also we are flushing hard on altcoins. And in that perspective, I'm going to reinvest on the supports, the profits I will take. But that's all about it. Okay, so I'm going to lock on the gains today, either immediately or later today if we keep the current pace. I'll decide. I eventually let you know throughout Discord, but you can be damn sure that by the end of the day, I will lock on 25% of my profits on these two guys, just taking a little bit of cash. That's all about it. Okay, so now stock market. Like I said, Janet Yellen, the market goddamn likes that. So we've done the exact only trade I thought about doing yesterday, but just hadn't the signals to do so. I was looking for a trending signal into this area, which was that dip, and we actually had nothing. But that was the only appropriate trade. Getting to buy out there, looking for the top dumb zone. Okay, we're into a dumb range. Okay, you'll remember that anything in here is totally stupid. So we have somehow validated our fourth range boundary. Okay, at least it looked like we did. It's definitely looking like a triangle. Okay, so in that perspective, we can consider that trying to break it. Okay, we're going to have to break the third range boundary and stuff like that. Remember what we've said on the weekly briefing. But the thing is, I think that the Janet Yellen news might be the kind of news that the market definitely wanted to have, to see it positively. And it definitely is. I think it's definitely an investor-orientated news flow to kind of reassure people and stuff like that, to say that, all right, the Trump economics are eventually going to wind down partially. We're going to keep the best of it. And more importantly, each and every policy changes we might have are definitely still going to be market orientated. It's not the left wing that is going to drive this country. And that's exactly what I think the message that Joe Biden is sending out there. That might not please some people, of course. That's very kind of deep state, old things, putting people that were there ago in the past and putting them back again in charge. So yeah, of course, that will not please part of the US citizens because it never ever going to be the way it was before. For the US, the country is totally split, kind of 50-50, and it's not going to change anytime soon. So still lots of troubles out there, but I think anyway, I mean, we're going to see the bright side of it. I hope these things will shape through time, but on the immediate time, of course, naming Janet Yellen is definitely not going to please the right wing of the US citizens, which is going to say, oh man, that's really the deepest possible state nomination, whatever. Okay, so anyway, we are in market-orientated visions out there. So for market makers and for market participants, definitely a fucking good news. Okay, so I'm questioning whether or not that will be enough to break these by today or tomorrow, early Thanksgiving, or are we just going to stay there in a fuckingly boring, right into the dumb zone type of trade, in which we stay there, we close the week, or we close there tomorrow and 2 off days for Thanksgiving, and we gap up by next Monday. That's one of the many possibilities. But I think we can very well break and gap up the third range boundary. Though I'm considering, first of all, removing part of my cover trades. You know, I am 50% covered since this previous market top, or this market top. So the thing is that currently I'm questioning whether or not I need to take down these cover trades to take it over again into a later stage. And I think I'm probably going to do this. I think today I'm going to take off 50% of my cover, which means I'm just going to be 25% bullish portfolio covered. Okay? Still bullish in this market, of course, but I am managing my exposition to this market because it's not trending, it's ranging at the moment. Though I think we could inch one way higher. The 2 technical areas for this week was definitely this one. We've stated for this area as a breakout potential, this one as a breakout potential, and this one as a buying opportunity. And eventually still the same area in which I think I'm going to do my risk management, which is for next weeks to come, $3,700 or $3,750. This area on top of the resistant context and stuff like that, this is where I intend to eventually cover again the portfolio. Like, I don't really think we're going to uptrend for the shitty nice gains and stuff like that. I think the best case scenario we can do is getting out there and get some other profit takings in which I will cover the portfolio yet again. Okay, it's just that the in-between move, I don't want to be limiting my gains, and therefore having cover trades, which is bear trade, short selling, the market still being covered by bullish exposition on the opposite end, but of course that still means I'm downsizing the gains by these cover trades that will lose a little bit of money. So I will reduce the position sizing probably today, and very likely either turn it down entirely by tomorrow or consider doing it early next Monday if we do have an up gap. Okay, that's pretty much it for today. See you guys later. Though tomorrow we're going to have the weekly review, the weekly educational content. I don't necessarily know if it's not going to be shifted eventually to today or after tomorrow, because of course tomorrow is a day in which I'll have my baby boy at home in the afternoon. So eventually during its nap time, I will do this regular stuff. But if I don't have enough time, I'll eventually shift it to the day right after. I'll let you know all about it into Discord, of course, as usual. Bye, guys.